Okay, so we'll start the next point in the kinematics unit, so that will be curvilinear motion. Okay, so motion along a curved path is termed as curvilinear motion. Okay, for example, like a car taking turn on a curved surface. Okay, a car taking turn on a curved surface, so that will be a curvilinear motion. Or as shown in this figure, so that will also be a curvilinear motion, so that is a roller coaster. Okay, so when that it's turning, so that is a curvilinear motion. So when we solve the numericals of the curvilinear motion, we will represent the velocity and acceleration into two components. Okay, that will be like the rectangular components of the velocity. Okay, the rectangular components of the velocity and the acceleration. Okay, like we resolve a force. So velocity in the curvilinear motion, the velocity will be tangent to the curve. Okay, velocity will be tangent to that path. Okay, so that we can resolve that velocity in x direction and in y direction. Okay, and so vx and vy, and this v will be the total velocity. Okay, like the acceleration also, but acceleration is not tangent to that path. Okay, acceleration not tangent to the path, its actual direction is somewhat different. Okay, so that again, that also we can resolve in ax and ay. So that will be the rectangular coordinates. So v square, total velocity square, equal to vx square plus vy square, or we can write v is equal to square root of vx plus vy. Okay, and tan of theta, this angle theta, so that will be vy by vx. Okay, and similarly we can write a square equal to ax square plus ay square, and a total acceleration equal to square root of ax square plus ay square. Okay, see, it is very simple. At any point in a curved path, at any point we can represent that point as coordinates x and y. Okay, x and y. So for that we can determine the velocity in x direction as well as velocity in y direction, and we can also determine the total velocity, okay, using these formulas. Okay, so that will be the rectangular coordinates of velocity. Then another term or another form of representing the acceleration is the normal and tangential coordinates. Okay, now see, the velocity in a curvilinear motion is tangent to that path, and that velocity we can resolve in x and y direction. But the acceleration is not tangent to the path. Okay, acceleration will have some different direction than that path. Okay, so that acceleration we can resolve that acceleration into two mutual perpendicular directions, such as a direction tangent to the path and a direction perpendicular to the path. Okay, a direction tangent to the path and a direction perpendicular to the path. So whatever perpendicular direction is there, perpendicular to the path direction is there, that is called as an, normal component of acceleration. Okay, that is also called as centripetal acceleration. And the direction tangent to the path, that is called as at, tangential acceleration, and that will be the, you can say, the constant component of acceleration. Okay, an will be variable component, that, so that formula for n is v square by, here rho is there, that is nothing but the radius of that curve. So an, normal component of acceleration, is v square by r. Okay, v square by r will be radius of that curve. Okay, and the total acceleration, that will be square root of an square plus at square. Okay, whatever this at is there, that will be the constant acceleration. Okay, so if we solve a numerical of curvilinear motion, and if we are using equation of linear motion, so in that for constant acceleration, in that we have to use a as this at. Okay, we can use that acceleration as this at. Okay, and normal component of acceleration will keep changing with velocity. Okay, the formula for normal component is v square by r. So as v changes, this an will also changes. Okay, then we will see the next point. Okay, that will be the projectile motion. Okay, projectile motion. So projectile motion is like a particle traveling in the air. Okay, like if you throw a ball, okay, like this, a football is shown. So if we throw a football like this, so that will travel in air for some time, and again it will come to ground. Okay, so that will be the, that particle is known as a projectile. Okay, another example for projectile is we can say the missiles are there. Okay, ground to ground. So some missiles are there from ground to ground or ground to air. So all missiles are the example of projectile. Okay, then again in projectile motion, some terminologies are there. Okay, we will see that terminology. so that will be trajectory. Okay, the path traced by a projectile in the space is known as trajectory. Okay, whatever path traced by that projectile in the space is known as trajectory. Then velocity of projection, the velocity with which a projectile is projected. Okay, that initial velocity with which that projectile is projected is called as velocity of projection. Okay, then angle of projection, the angle with which that projectile is projected. Okay, like the gun is there, so we can keep that gun horizontal, so angle of projection will be 0 here. Okay, angle of projection will be 0, that can be anything between 0 to 90 degree. Okay, that can be anything between 0 to 90 degree, but that must be less than 90 degree. If we project 90 degree vertically, so that will not example of projectile. Okay, that will be simply a linear motion or the motion under gravity. Okay, so the angle with the horizontal at which a projectile is projected is known as angle of projection. That can also be negative also. Okay, that angle can be negative also. Then time of flight, the total time taken by a projectile to reach the maximum height and to return back to the ground is known as time of flight. Okay, in simple language you can say the time for which that projectile will be in the air. Okay, the time for which that projectile will be in the air is known as time of flight. Then range, the distance between the point of projection and the point where the projectile strikes the ground is known as the range. Okay, we will again see this terminology, okay, using the diagram. Okay, so like this. Okay, so this path is trajectory. Okay, then whatever this u is shown, so that will be the velocity of projection, this alpha is angle of projection, this O to A distance is the range. Okay, O to A distance is the range. Okay, then again a particle can be projected horizontally also. Okay, like this, a particle can be projected horizontally also. So for that initial velocity u will be ux only. Okay, the initial velocity in y direction will be 0. You can solve this using simple equations of linear motion. Okay, considering horizontal as well as vertical motion. Okay, then a particle is also can be projected like this. Okay, with an angle alpha. So velocity in x direction u cos alpha, we can simply resolve this velocity. So u cos alpha, u sin alpha. Okay, the range. Okay, like that. Then we can derive some formula. So like this. So equation of path of projectile. Okay, this is the important. So equation of path. So for that we can consider motion in x direction or in horizontal direction and motion in vertical direction. Okay, when you consider motion in horizontal direction, so that u cos alpha, so that will be constant, so velocity of projection, so u cos alpha. Okay, and vertical component u sin alpha. So we in y direction that velocity keep changing, so we can write y is equal to we using that equation of linear motion, first equation. Okay, s is equal to ut plus half at square. So s distance travel in y direction, so that will be y, u, so that will be u sin alpha t plus half of gt square. So value of a will be minus g. Okay, the projectile is going upward. Okay, so minus g, and in horizontal direction that velocity is constant, so we can directly use velocity is equal to distance divided by time, or distance is equal to velocity into time. So x is equal to u cos alpha into t. So from this equation getting value of t, so that will be x divided by u cos alpha, and putting this value in this equation and solving, so we get this equation y equal to x tan alpha minus gx square upon 2u square cos square alpha. So this equation is similar to equation of parabola. So whatever path traced by a projectile, it is a parabola. Okay, then we can also derive some of the formulas. Okay, in exam we can use this formula directly. Okay, so time of flight. So for time of flight, so again this equation y is equal to u sin alpha t minus half gt square. So after reaching the last point, so y will be 0. Okay, after reaching the last point y will be 0 like this. Okay, here it is on the ground, then go in the air and again come to the ground. So after reaching the ground, that y will be equal to 0, distance travel in y direction will be equal to 0. So putting that value here and solving it, we get t is equal to 2u sin alpha by g. So this will be formula for time of flight. Okay, then horizontal range of a projectile. Then for the horizontal range, so again using formula for time of flight, t equal to u sin alpha divided by g. So horizontal range is equal to horizontal velocity into time of flight, so that will be u cos alpha into 2u sin alpha by g. So formula for horizontal range, that will be equal to r is equal to u square sin 2 alpha by g. Okay, u square sin 2 alpha by g. Then for a given velocity of projectile, the range will be maximum when sin of 2 alpha is equal to 1. So R max will be equal to u square by g. Maximum horizontal range will be equal to u square by g. Okay. Then next formula will be the maximum height of projectile on a horizontal plane. So again, for maximum height, considering the vertical motion, so y component of velocity u sin alpha and vertical component of final velocity. So when that particle reaches to ground, vertical component of final velocity will be equal to 0. So average velocity. So u sin alpha plus 0 divided by 2. So that will be u sin alpha by 2. So let h be the maximum height reached by the particle and t be the time taken by the particle. Then to reach the maximum height, to attain the 0 velocity, so from u sin alpha we have to also discuss that time taken by the projectile to reach the maximum height. So u sin alpha by g. So therefore maximum height of projectile h is equal to average vertical velocity into time. So that will be u sin alpha divided by 2 into u sin alpha by g. So that will be formula for the maximum height of projectile. So that will be u square sin square alpha upon 2g. Okay, you should also remember these three formulas that you can use while solving the numerical. Okay, so that will be all for the projectile in okay. Then we will see the next point. So that will be relative motion. Okay, relative motion, that means if the inertial frame of reference is moving one. Okay, फॉर एक्झाम्पल समजा दोन बसेस जर चालले, ठीक आहे, दोन बसेस चाललेल्या आहे आणि एका बसमध्ये बसलेला पॅसेंजर आहे तो दुसऱ्या बसमधल्या बसला जेव्हा बघतो तेव्हा त्याला ती कशी फील होती त्यालाच रिलेटिव्ह मोशन म्हटलं जातं. फॉर एक्झाम्पल आता बघू आपण पुढे, समजा ठीक आहे, आपण जर दोन बसेस पकडल्या ए आणि बी. ओके, टू बसेस आर मुव्हिंग ए अँड बी. आता यांची वेलोसिटी सेम आहे, मग 60 km/h आहे दोघांची वेलोसिटी. तर काय होईल की ए मधल्या पॅसेंजरनी बी बसला दिसले तर त्याला ती काय दिसेल, ती त्याला स्टेडी दिसणार आहे, ती त्याला स्टेडी दिसेल. त्याला असं वाटतं की ते मूव्ह होत नाही. ठीक आहे, जरी ते दोन्ही बसेस मूव्ह होत असल्या तरी ए मधल्या पॅसेंजर तेव्हा ती बसेल कारण ती त्याच्यासोबतच मूव्ह होती, त्याच्यामुळे त्याला काय वाटणार आहे की ती स्टेडी आहे. तर त्यांची रिलेटिव्ह वेलोसिटी काय होऊन जाईल, इट विल बी 0. त्यांची रिलेटिव्ह वेलोसिटी 0 होऊन जाईल. आता समजा ए बस 70 km/hनी झाली, ए बस जी आहे ती 70 km/h आणि बी 60नी झाली, बी 60 km/hनी झाली. तर काय होईल, ए जी आहे ती बी बसला ओव्हरटेक करून पुढं चाललं जाईल. आता ती ओव्हरटेक करताना बी मधल्या पॅसेंजरनी जर ए मधल्या बसला बघितलं तर त्याला काय वाटणार आहे की ती 10 km/hनी पुढे चालली, 10 km/hनी पुढे चाललेली आहे. ठीक आहे, कारण ऑलरेडी याची 60 स्पीड आहे, 60 km/h आहे आणि याची 70 km/h आहे. म्हणजे बी मधल्या पॅसेंजरनी एला बघितलं तर त्याला काय वाटेल ती 10 km/hनी ती बस आपल्या पुढे निघून चालली आहे. ठीक आहे, म्हणजेच रिलेटिव्ह वेलॉसिटी हे आपण कसं डिफाईन करतो, इज द व्हेक्टर डिफरन्स बिटवीन द वेलॉसिटी ऑफ दॅट टू बॉडीज. आणि व्हेक्टर डिफरन्स ऑफ वेलॉसिटी, आता ह्या ए आणि बीच्या वेलॉसिटी म्हणजे कोणता, त्या ॲब्सोल्यूट वेलॉसिटी आहे. व्हेक्टर डिफरन्स बिटवीन द टू ॲब्सोल्यूट वेलॉसिटी ऑफ दॅट बॉडीज इज कॉल्ड ॲज द रिलेटिव्ह वेलॉसिटी. ठीक आहे, आता हे सेम डायरेक्शनमध्ये झालं. समजा आता अपोजिट डायरेक्शनमध्ये असलं तर व्हेक्टर, आता समजा ए 60 km/hनी चालला आणि बी 60 km/hनी अपोजिट डायरेक्शनमध्ये चालला, तर ए च्या पॅसेंजरनी बीला बघितलं तर त्याला ती काय दिसणार आहे की ती 120च्या स्पीडनी ती अपोजिट डायरेक्शनमध्ये चालली आहे. सो तिथे वेक्टर डिफरन्स कसं होईल, सो दॅट विल बी 60 मायनस 60. ओके, कारण त्यांची वेलोसिटी अपोजिट डायरेक्शनमध्ये आहे. ठीक आहे, देन आता पॅरलल इथेच दाखवलं आहे, पॅरलल पाथ इन अपोजिट डायरेक्शन. समजा हा 70 इकडे चालला आणि हा 60 इकडे चालला, त्यांची रिलेटिव्ह वेलोसिटी होऊन जाईल 130. ओके, 130 km/h ती त्यांची रिलेटिव्ह वेलोसिटी. हे झाले पॅरलल डायरेक्शनसाठी. समजा इन कोणत्याही डायरेक्शनला जर ते असले, समजा एची वेलोसिटी अशा डायरेक्शनला आहे आणि बी अशा डायरेक्शनला आहे आणि ही व्ही ए ऑब्लिक बी जे दाखवले ते त्यांची रिलेटिव्ह वेलोसिटी आहे. सो व्ही ए बी इक्वल टू व्ही ए मायनस व्ही बी. आता हा व्हेक्टर डिफरन्स झाला. हे काय झालं, व्हेक्टर डिफरन्स म्हणजे त्याच्या बेसिक डेफिनेशननुसार. पण आता याला सॉल्व करताना कसं आपल्याला करता येईल, आपल्याला व्ही आणि व्ही बी, आता याला आपण एक्स डायरेक्शनमध्ये रिझॉल्व करू शकतो व्ही एला, आणि व्ही बीलाही एक्स डायरेक्शनमध्ये रिझॉल्व करू शकतो. सिमिलरली त्यांना वाय डायरेक्शनमध्ये आपण रिझॉल्व करू शकतो. मग ते रिझॉल्व करायचे आणि त्या एक्स आणि वाय डायरेक्शनचा वेक्टर सम घ्यायचा आणि मग त्या डायरेक्शनमधली रिलेटिव्ह वेलोसिटी काढायची. म्हणजेच रिलेटिव्ह वेलोसिटी इन एक्स डायरेक्शन काय येईल, व्ही ए एक्स मायनस व्ही बी एक्स. रिलेटिव्ह वेलोसिटी इन वाय डायरेक्शन व्ही ए वाय मायनस व्ही बी वाय. आणि मग त्यांची रिलेटिव्ह वेलोसिटी व्ही आर इज इक्वल टू स्क्वेअर रूट ऑफ व्ही आर एक्स स्क्वेअर प्लस व्ही आर वाय स्क्वेअर आणि अल्फा इक्वल टू व्ही आर वाय डिवायडेड बाय व्ही आर एक्स. ठीक आहे, हा फॉर्म्युला यूज करून ते आपल्याला सॉल्व करता येईल. मग ही व्ही ए ऑब्लिक बी तिथे व्ही आर जे आहे आपल्याला तिथं भेटते. ठीक आहे, न्यूमरिकल सॉल्व करणं हे तुम्हाला अजून चांगल्या प्रकारे लक्षात येईल. ठीक आहे, नेक्स्ट व्हिडिओमध्ये आपण याचेच न्यूमरिकल बघणार आहोत. ठीक आहे, थँक्यू. काही डिफिकल्टी असली तुम्हाला थ्री पार्टमध्ये तर तुम्ही अजून वेगळे रेफरन्स बुक वाचून ती एकदा थेरी वाचून काढा ना, तरी काही डिफिकल्टी असली तर मला कमेंट सेक्शनमध्ये सांगा, ठीक आहे.